After the devastating floods of 2011, and there were about 20,000 homes were inundated by floodwaters. Well, those homeowners were left with huge clean-up bill, lower property values as well. But now new figures show buyers returning to many flood-hit suburbs, which is good news. And many Southside properties are likely to sell at original asking prices.
Yahoo! Karen Jensen, property expert and director of Jensen Property, joins us this morning. Karen, this is good news.
Yes, it is.
So tell us how good are these prices going to be? How healthy are they?
Well, I think we are seeing some prices bounce back, and I wouldn't say all prices, but the area being such a lifestyle area close into the city, I think that you would expect to see recovery.
What sort of areas are we talking about? Which suburbs in particular?
Well, I've worked in the Fairfield, Yeronga area, and I've worked there for probably over 20 years. So I've seen a lot of change. I've seen price changes from, 150 through to 600, and then back again to, 450, and moving back up to 550. As a general mean price.
So they said it would probably take about 10 years. So has this recovery happened sooner than what you thought it might?
Look, I think demand has changed a few things. There's been a lot of inquiry for property in that area. It's certainly a lovely area to live. So, and I think people have got a confidence in the area. So, yeah, it's sooner, I think, yes.
And you wonder, though, when you've got an area that's been inundated more than once, that people still have interest in there with perhaps the thought in the back of their minds, well, it may happen again, maybe it won't.
It's funny. There are people that have made a decision way back in 1974 that they would have had the choice to buy a property either on the river or at a nearby suburb. And they've bought at a nearby suburb, being safe and careful. But, they have missed out on a lot of the property growth by not buying in those areas. They're very, very sought-after areas. People that live in the area, they'll stay in the area.
Yeah. Is it a requirement to tell these potential buyers, that the property was flood-affected?
Yes, definitely, absolutely.
And how do they react to that?
They probably know already, wouldn't they?
A lot of them don't seem to mind. Some of them do, of course. Some people will not forget. We have a community in Fairfield, and people sort of get together, and the clean-up was done. A lot of people, their homes are looking better than they've ever looked. There obviously still are some people that have got property that they're still working on. But there's opportunity. And some of the buyers that come in, they don't mind.
So, Karen, were there people who just left the area totally, thought, I can't do this anymore, I'm getting out of here?
Well, yes. The first house that sold after the flood was an investor, and he was a long-term investor. So, I suppose there wasn't as much hurt for him. So, yes, he decided to cash out. He said, no, I've had enough, I'm going.
Because mentally it's a tough thing. I mean, flood is just, you could say, well, enough is enough.
Well, I think people are resilient. I think they really are. And, some of the properties that are, like it depends how far into the flood you were and how much devastation you had as well. If it just came above the floorboards, it's not so bad to clean up. But if the whole home's been decimated, bit of a different story.
It's 6:12. We're speaking with Karen Jensen from Jensen Property. We're talking about some of the flood areas that have had a rejuvenation and a rise in prices, which is terrific. Do you reckon they'll get back to levels that they were before the 2011 floods?
Well, in some cases they already have, but in a lot of cases they will take a little while still.
And the market is generally on the move, do you reckon? This is a over Brisbane thing.
Oh, definitely. It's a good market at the moment. A lot of buyer inquiry. A lot of young families wanting to find a home.
Yeah,
borrowing's good again.
And I suppose we think, and we might have thought it before, that big flood, it won't happen for many years to come, hopefully. So they're probably now, looking ahead and thinking, we've had that
We've
now,
had the
let's
worst.
move on. Yeah,
and they've done a lot of work to make sure that perhaps it won't. But, hey, Karen, all the best. Thank you very much for joining us this morning.
That's right.